Lucasfilm computer division was started up in 1980, just after Empire Strikes Back came out. There was about 10 or 12 people there. We could fit the whole company around a dinner table at the time. It was very different than how it is now. And there was a computer graphics project as well. And nobody was really sure what that was going to do. Although it was the first project to produce any results, we did the Genesis demo sequence that's in Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3 and Star Trek, but they liked it a lot. They reused it for several movies, which makes me very happy. And there's a short sequence, a minute and a half or so, in Return of the Jedi of that's supposed to be holographic displays of the upcoming attack on the Death Star. That's sort of the state of progress in movie technology up to that point. There was none. The last two big advances in motion pictures before 1980 were the advent of color in the 1940s, roughly, and the advent and sound.
Yeah.
In the late 1920s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And the technology of the movie business was pretty much static. Today, nobody does anything the same way they did before. There's no film involved. All special effects are done using digital compositing techniques that we invented. I have to say, lots of other people were working on this at the same time, but it was really it was an inflection point for the movie business. It was the start of real investment in technology, and the movies we make today are nothing like the movies we made even 40 years ago or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's largely because of efforts like that, and credit to George Lucas for having the vision to spend some of his money on that stuff. Pixar as a company, it was George Lucas sold it to Steve Jobs in 1986. Steve was unsure what Pixar was likely to do, but he thought it was a technology company, and he thought that we were going to manufacture some kind of computer graphics equipment that was going to do some kind of job. And eventually, it came to the point where nothing was coming of that. Steve, to his eternal credit, funded the company for a good 8 years with not much of anything happening. And except that a few people were producing what amounted to promotional videos to promote the products, and they were catching a lot of attention in particular from people at Disney. And sometime around 1992 or so, Steve negotiated a deal with Disney to make a feature film. And 4 years of work later, Toy Story came out.
Yeah.
It didn't happen earlier, mostly because the computer industry did not have the maturity to do that sort of work yet. We didn't have the computers that would do the job. It takes an enormous amount of computer power